This is Gospel Music Today. We are at the National Quartet Convention, and I am surrounded by McMillan and Life, and we want to welcome you guys to Gospel Music Today.
It's great to be back. Good to be at the NQC again this year.
Now, Jimmy, I'm going to have you introduce the other people.
I can do that. This lovely lady right here is my wife, Liz, and you might remember her from a group called the Lesters. But we just have a great time traveling together. This guy back here, where you at, Shorty? There he is, right there. His name is Mr. Devin Brumfield. He comes from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. He's just been with us for a little while, and he's doing a great job.
You didn't have to go too far to get to the convention.
No. Finally somebody close to home.
That's great. Now, McMillan and Life, how long has that been operating?
We're right at coming up on 3 years now. So, and it's just getting better every year. We're having a great time doing it, and we're seeing lots of amazing things happen, and we're just grateful for it.
Great. Now, how did you become involved in Southern gospel singing?
That's a good question. I grew up in Los Angeles, California, of all places, and knew nothing about Southern gospel music. And when I moved back to the Midwest, that's where I was originally from. I had aunts that were very, very interested in Southern gospel, and I started listening to a little bit of it, but I didn't really know that much. And in 1997, I had a friend say, "Hey, do you want to sing for a living?" And I said, "Well, sure." And so I auditioned, and George Amon Webster hired me as a tenor. And I'm embarrassed to say it, I didn't know how to sing the tenor part. I had to be taught everything. So, you know, it's been an uphill battle since then. But poor Liz here still has to teach me once in a while.
Praise the Lord.
But that's how I got involved. I fell in love with it, though. It was so new to me that when I first started, there was a DJ in northern Indiana. He was around Warsaw, Indiana. His name was Gordon Hurd, and he was a friend of mine. And I said, "Gordon, can you do me a favor?" I said, "Can you make me up a couple of CDs that just have a bunch of different groups on them, but put their names on there so I can understand?" I said, because all the groups sound the same to me. I couldn't tell the difference between a mixed quartet, a trio. I couldn't tell anything. So I listened to those probably 4,000 times driving in the middle of the night, and finally learned how to tell the difference between the Perrys and the Booth Brothers.
Oh, sweet heaven.
I'm not kidding you.
Now, quite a contrast to that, because I know Liz has quite a Southern gospel background.
Yes, I've been raised in this business, in the industry. My grandfather sang with the Blackwood Brothers in 48, 49, 50. And when he left the Blackwood Brothers, he went home to Detroit and started the Tony Brothers. And it's kind of snowballed from there. It was kind of cool the other day. I logged onto Facebook, and the Blackwood Brothers had uploaded a picture of the Blackwood Brothers from the late 40s and early 50s, and there was my grandpa and my grandma and my mom, about 2 years old. It was really cool.
Well, that's great. Now let me move the third member in here a little closer. How did you become involved with these guys?
Well, I saw a posting on Singing News website, and I emailed Jimmy, and he scheduled a audition and an interview with me in Nashville, and I went down on a Wednesday, and he called me that same Friday and told me I had the job if I wanted it, so here I am.
And how did you start singing?
Well, I started playing the piano in church when I was about 8 years old, and then for the last 5.5 years I've been a music director at my home church, and it all started in church, so I guess I've been playing and singing since almost since I could talk.
Have you guys been recording?
Well, we're still on the same recording that we had last year at convention. It's called No Storm Wasted. We actually just released a brand new single, which is the title from the project. It's called This Storm. We had great success with one called I'm Gonna Reach Heaven, and now we've sent out This Storm, and it's actually been received really, really well, so we're excited about that. We're looking at, I think we were talking about this afternoon, I think we're looking at recording in early February, getting ready for next year, and possibly a favorite sometime this fall. So I keep going back to all these what used to be contemporary songs, and now they're all considered Southern gospel, and I go, well, I can go back and sing all those favorite songs of mine from the 80s. I know that's a long time ago, but from the 80s. And they'll qualify. So, you know, maybe we'll just do a favorites project to get us through until February, and then next year at convention we'll have, I believe we'll have an exciting new project. We're going to be talking to Twy Little Bar about some more songs, and Chris Benyon. Who else was one of the writers on? Well, Joyce Martin wrote a couple of the, or one of the songs, and Joel Lindsay, and so we've already got that in the works to get the songs lined up for the next one.
Great. We'll be looking for that. What's the McMillan and Life website?
It is www.mcmillandlife.com. I have to spell it out because you have to tell people to spell it out.
That's right. And we'll be looking forward to the new CD, but I want to tell you, Gene and I have talked about this. I just think the title of No Storm Wasted is an inspiration by itself without even cracking the CD open. Where did the title come from?
Wow. This is where the funny all goes to the side. We've been through a lot of trials in the last few years. Liz and I have faced a lot of trials, and we're actually in the middle of some things right now that are just, Satan is doing all that he can to come against us. But the one thing that we finally learned is that we don't ask in the middle of a trial why. We just don't ask the question why anymore. We get through the trial, and when it's done, trial or storm, whatever you want to call it, and when it's done, we ask God to teach us what we're supposed to learn from that, rather than asking why. But most importantly, is to let us take what we've learned, and let what Satan meant for evil, let God use it for good to teach somebody else and to touch somebody else's life. Because honestly, I feel that if you go through a trial in your life and you don't find a way to impact somebody else's life with it, then that storm is actually wasted.
That's great. Well, to all of McMillan and Life, thank you very much, and to Jimmy and Liz, who really have become old friends. It's great to see you again, and thank you for being on Gospel Music today.
We appreciate you having us so much.
There's more coming up on Gospel Music Today.